What are we starting? Where are we going? Where are we
Yeah,
starting?
it's summer. It's 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Everything it feels different for me over here. It's still light outside. So yeah, I'm feeling good. What about you? How does it feel over there?
It doesn't feel like summer at all. Actually, you know what? This is a very disappointing day for
Oh no.
like weather-wise, climatologically, for it to
Climatologically.
be the first episode of our summer season. It is rainy as fuck. It's storming outside. It's been gray all day. It's dark. It's
Damn.
sad. It feels like fall. It feels like October right now. So it does, I'm having to remind myself that it is summer and we're starting summer season.
It's been super rainy here too. Today it was like rainy for most of the day and then it just barely started to get nice like 30 minutes ago. So I'm kind of bummed.
Dang.
Otherwise I would have been outside all day, but I was mostly inside all day. I did make it to the Arboretum to do a little walk with my two friends and their two dogs. So that was fun. Got to sit in the back seat with the dogs on my lap and one of them fell asleep in my lap. It was very healing.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love like having a strange dog like who you just met fall asleep next to you is like or on you is such an honor.
It really was. I felt super cool. I was like, my aura must be good today.
That's so good. I love that.
But I hope you
Aw.
get some sunshine soon. It's summer, baby.
I
Actually,
know.
you know what? At the time of recording, it's not actually summer until tomorrow. Tomorrow is the first day of summer, technically.
We get a pass. We get a pass on that.
Pass.
Although it's not it's supposed to rain for about a week straight. So,
Shit. Okay. Well,
yeah.
you know
But it
what?
was really nice last week. So,
Okay.
it's okay. It's okay. It'll
Okay.
come back around.
It always. That's what they say. What comes around comes back around. Just like No Small Games. Summer season, the fourth one.
Oh, whoa.
Is this the fourth one?
That
Fourth
was
summer season.
that was a deft segue right there. Oh my goodness.
That's what I'm known for.
Is it the fourth summer season? I'm counting on my fingers as if
I
that's
think
going to
it
help.
is.
That doesn't. I think this is the fourth summer season.
Remember
That's
when we
insane.
used to do Scary Summer and then I was too traumatized,
And
so
then
we
you
had
got
to
too
stop
scared
doing it?
the second time around.
Yeah. Now
We
we're
should-
mixing it up.
We haven't done a horror game in a hot second though.
I was just thinking that. I think it's going to be horror fall.
I think so. You know what? I'm so down for that.
Female protagonist horror
Survival
survival
horror
horror fall is out and more horror with hopefully more female protagonists fall
Yeah.
is in.
Right. Yeah. That's what they say. That's what I've heard through the
help.
grapevine.
Emily, I'm going to let you steer us into announcing our summer season because
Yeah.
I can't help myself at the moment.
Well, we have a really exciting lineup. I think we've got a great mix of some brand new games coming out in 2026 that we're going to be talking about, and some indie games from the last like 5-6 years or so that I think are really cool. So we're kicking it off today. You probably know what we're talking about because you looked at the episode title when you hit play, but maybe you didn't. Maybe you block it out. Maybe you somehow like squint your eyes and you just like
Or it
press
autoplayed.
play.
Could have autoplayed.
It could have autoplayed, and now you're like, what the fuck am I listening to?
You're like, Kate and
And
Emily, stop. And then you hit
I'm
pause.
here to tell you. You're listening to our episode where we're covering Lil Gator Game.
Yay. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
doing Little Gator Game today. I'm so excited. And then on July 9th, we're doing Fishbowl.
That is going to be, it's going to be so interesting. I think I'm really ready to like relive, or not relive. Look. I'm actually not ready to relive the pandemic era, but
Yeah.
I'm ready to reflect on the early pandemic years.
Totally.
Then moving on into late July, on July 23rd, shout out to Will from Friday Night Gamecast. That's his birthday. We are going to be playing Reloaded, which I'm so incredibly excited for. I feel like this game got a lot of press in certain circles, mainly academic and museum
Yes.
curation and like librarian circles. Not a lot of hype. Well, I think it got some hype, but not enough hype.
Not as much as
elsewhere,
it deserved.
Yes. So I'm excited for that. Talking about Reloaded on July 23rd.
Also, this is a formal invitation / question because my birthday is the day after Will's from the Friday Night Gamecast. So I'm wondering, like, if you're listening, anyone from the Friday Night Gamecast team, can we do a collaborative birthday party? Let me know. You can find me at caterblossom.tv@gmail.com, and we could plan a little something. It could be fun.
I love that idea. That would be so cute.
I love Will so much. I respect him because he knows his zodiac chart and his wife and his daughter's full natal charts. So step it up, everyone else. Okay, and then on August 6th, we are covering Mixtape with Brendan Bigley and AJ Filari of Into the Aether, and AJ also hosts .zip and produces Into the Aether. So the four of us really hit it off at PAX East, and we are so excited to have them on to talk about Mixtape. Woo!
Woo! I'm very excited. There's a lot of interesting discourse that's been going around on Mixtape, and I think this is going to be a really fun group of four to dig into that, you know.
We'll dig into it.
Cool. And then we are closing out summer season on August 20th. It's a late end to our summer season for us. We're going to be talking about Road 96 with the one and only Rogan Plays Games.
Love Rogan.
Rogan is awesome. We've gotten to I feel like we haven't properly hung out with Rogan. We see Rogan in passing at a bunch of events, and he's always super fun to chat with. He's so sweet, and we're stoked to have him on the show. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, and you and Rogan have the same jacket, so maybe I could talk you both into wearing that for the recording.
Maybe we should.
We'll see. But yeah, that's our fourth summer season. That's what you can look forward to here at No Small Games for the summer. We can't wait. I feel like we picked some really great games, and so excited to kick it off today with Lil Gator Game.
Yeah, I'm excited. I got a little spoiler that you've been really enjoying it, so I'm excited to chat with you about it.
Yes, I love it. Spoiler. And Emily, do you feel like it's time to talk about boss battles? Are you ready? Or is there anything else you want to discuss?
I think we're ready.
Okay, great. We're ready. Emily, okay, so sorry, it's been a minute since we've recorded one of these episodes, folks. So boss battles, there are segments of the show where we get to talk about something that we've been struggling with this week or a battle that we've overcome. And it's our way of checking in with each other and updating each other on our non-game related lives. But sometimes it's about a game. Emily, would you like to share a boss battle with me today?
I would. Mine actually is game related. It's in
I knew it. I could feel it.
Here's the thing. It's just June is it's such a hard, stressful month if you do what we do, or even if you just like staying up on the news and new releases and demos and stuff coming out. June is such a stressful month. I think second only, or maybe followed up by November, December.
Yeah.
But it's just having Summer Next Fest end on a Monday, and then the following Monday Steam Next Fest starts. It's not okay. Somebody needs to fix this. We need Jeff and Gabe to get in a room and sort their shit out and figure out. I think if they could push Steam Next Fest back by 1 week, give us 2 weeks in between the end of Summer Game Fest and Steam Next Fest, that would fix a lot of my woes right now, because I'm just tired and feeling so behind on there's still Summer Game Fest coverage that we want to produce that we haven't done yet. But then Steam Next Fest is happening. It's a mess. And I just wish they would talk to each other and not do this to us.
Yeah, it is a lot. I'm feeling really similarly. I just feel so tired and I can't catch up. And also we did guest on lots of other shows, podcasts for Summer Game Fest coverage, which was great. But yeah, we've been doing a lot post SGF, and then I feel like just trying to play all the Next Fest demos. I have maybe played 6 as of right now, and Next Fest is almost over. So at this point in time, I usually have played a lot more. So yeah, it's been hard to be locked into Next Fest, you know?
Yeah, it really has. And feeling like now I'm behind on both. Now I'm behind on everything.
Mm-hmm. And we got a whole other jobs and lives out here, so we ain't doing this game stuff full time, but we would love to. But yeah, it's a rough time, but I'm glad we're in this together, Emily. I'm really proud of all the stuff we've pushed out post SGF, both for No Small Games and for other shows. So I just can't wait till I get to play games with you in person again, or just see you in person again, period.
I know. I hope it's soon. I hope it's very soon.
Me too.
Kate, tell me about your boss battle.
Well, I feel like I had one, but then I decided to change it to something else. So it's pretty brief, but I feel like I'm at this point in my life where, or I guess this summer, where I'd like to experiment with my appearance a little bit.
Ooh, fun.
I'm getting a haircut on my birthday, and so I'm thinking about doing something a little different. But I've also been thinking about clothes and just like, you know, I have some clothes that I just don't really ever wear because I feel like I'm not like brave enough to wear them. So I think one of my goals for this next month is to just try out a couple new outfits that I have and try to be brave and wear them and see how I feel. And then maybe do a more drastic haircut. But I did cut my own hair yesterday. So let me know what you think. I don't know.
Nice.
I feel like it looks okay. I think
it looks great. Yeah.
I'm so hit or miss. Like my hair grows really fast. So I always end up cutting it a little bit in between appointments, and each time I get a little more bold with how much hair I feel comfortable cutting. So I guess my boss battle is that I'm feeling good about the way that I cut my hair yesterday, and I look forward to whatever I can dream up next to experiment with my looks this summer.
That's fun. I like that. That's a good boss battle. I like having little goals like that are like, you can only win, you can only win by experimenting and finding cool stuff. Or you fall back in love with your classic style. Like,
It's true, yeah.
That's cool.
I feel like I'm, in a lot of ways, I'm like Old Navy t-shirt tucked into my wide-legged Old Navy pants. And I'd like to maybe step outside of that box a little bit, see what could happen. Maybe do a little bit of a shorter haircut. We'll see.
That's
Check back in with me
exciting.
on our last recording and see if I look any different. Emily,
yeah,
or
we'll do
anyone.
like a side by side.
Yeah.
We'll do a short where we check in with Kate's hair. I've been wanting to figure out what the hell I'm doing. People, I don't know. I've gotten some compliments on what is going on here.
I do like
and
it,
it's
yeah.
not. I actually do too. It's not intentional though. I'm just being indecisive. So I don't know.
I think
One
it
of
looks
these days
cute.
I'll figure it
but
out.
I'm excited to see whatever you decide to do.
Me too. Well, these are fun, fun boss battles. I feel like we're tired, but these are fun boss battles relative
We're
to
having fun.
other things that,
We've got going on, yeah.
Yeah. Before, friends, before we get into talking about Lil Gator Game.
Before.
Don't be hasty. Don't be hasty. Slow it down. Sorry. I just want to take a moment to once again thank all of our Patreon supporters. Y'all are incredible. Y'all mean the world to us. My whole spiel. Especially in the wake of it sounds like a Summer Game Fest was some kind of natural disaster.
The tornado of Summer Game Fest.
Honestly, it feels like it.
Yeah.
No, but since I was gonna say in the shadow of, what the fuck am I trying to say? No, just y'all really came through for us with Summer Game Fest, and it was a big expense, and just y'all help us do cool stuff like that. So it really means the world to us. Thank you to all of our new Patreon supporters who've been coming through lately too.
I think, in the 3 years we've been doing the podcast, we haven't really, we've had the Patreon for the last 2 years, I would say, or has it been longer than that? 2.5?
No.
Just 2 years?
I think it's been a year and a half.
A year and a half?
It's not been that long. Yeah. It took us a while to launch the Patreon.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know. I think just since having the Patreon, to see where we started with it and to see where it is now and how much support we have really means a lot to us. And I feel comfortable speaking for both of us when I say that we are so surprised and thrilled and just very humbled and honored to have your support in that way. So thank you so much. And I feel like we have some stuff. We have, exciting things to look forward to, and we have a little bit of money for that. So thank you guys so much, and it is hard to say thank you. I don't know what else to say, but hopefully that was good.
I think it is. It's like surprising every time in a way that's really touching. Every new like Patreon member. It's like, I think for me, it's both humbling and motivating, because it's like, okay, we gotta bring our best. We want to bring our best to the show for everybody, but like I want to bring our best to the show for the Patreon supporters especially. So
absolutely.
Anyway, just thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And go ahead if you would like to support the show, or just join the Patreon for free, because that's an option too. You get some notifications about cool stuff going on. Go check out patreon.com/nosmallgames. If you would like a completely free way to support the show, there's something amazing and so fast that you can do right this second that will help us out a ton, which is to go leave a little rating or review on whatever podcast platform you're listening on right now. It helps immensely just to get the word out about the show. Also, tell your friends. Word of mouth is a huge way for podcasts to grow and reach new audiences. So if you know somebody who you think would like our brand of shenanigans and chaos and indie game conversations, let them know. Give them a little slap upside the head and say, why are you listening to No Small Games yet?
Threaten them. And you know what? People might love whatever's wrong with us, and we love that. And if you feel seen by us, we're all in this together.
Yeah. In a very High School Musical kind of way.
Oh, yes.
And that's it. That's my little spiel. It went on probably far too long.
It was great. I always love it because it's a little different every time, and I'm like, what am I gonna get? And I'm always happy with whatever the result is.
This is my opportunity to vamp a little bit and pull out my improv.
Yes,
skills.
And it's beautiful. Great. Yeah. So thanks to the Patreon folks. I'm gonna read the Steam description for Lil Gator Game.
Lil Gator Game.
Woo! Okay, here we go. I'm feeling it. I'm finally waking up today for the first time at 8:49 p.m. And on that note, embark on an adorable adventure, discover new friends, and uncover everything the island has to offer. Climb, swim, glide, and slide your way into the hearts of the many different characters you meet on your travels. And Lil Gator Game was released on December 14th, 2022. It was developed by MegaWobble and published by Platonic Friends, and it's available on Steam for sure for $19.99 USD. And I forgot to look at where else it's available, but probably Switch and PlayStation and Xbox, I'm going to guess.
Let's actually verify that.
We will verify it. Here at No Small Games, we love to verify information.
We do. Trust, but verify. Mm-hmm. I can confirm it is indeed on Nintendo Switch.
There we go.
PlayStation 4 and 5 and Xbox. So
nailed it.
You were right. Absolutely
also,
nailed it.
There is a new DLC out, which we are not covering in this episode, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But I would love to say that I am thrilled to partake in the DLC as soon as possible. But I have not purchased it yet.
I haven't either. I'm really excited to see where it goes narratively. Like, the vibes are very cool. The vibes are very, like, creepy, kind of mysterious, like Halloween-y kind of vibes.
Yeah, Lil Gator Game in the Dark, is that's what it's called, right?
Mm-hmm. But after, like, finishing the game now, I'm just interested to see, like, where does this take the characters and Lil Gator in particular.
Lil Gator, yeah.
Let's talk about our histories with the game real quick.
Yeah, I personally, like, this is one I've wanted to play forever. I just didn't have a reason to, but so many people recommend this game to me, and I'm like, guys, it's going to happen eventually. And little did I know it would happen for the summer season of No Small Games. I remember watching you play this game on stream. I know you have a YouTube video about this game.
I do.
I think that
one of my only YouTube videos happens to be about this game.
Yeah, and I just always thought that it was so cute, but I honestly didn't really know. I mean, and I feel like there are a lot of things that I like that are similar to it, like a short hike or, you know, it definitely, I understand why people recommend this game to me. But, yeah, I just had never made time to prioritize it. So that's about it for my history with the game. I've always been excited to play it, happy to finally have played it.
Yay. I'm so glad that we got to do this for this season. I feel like it's a really good summer game.
Yeah.
This is, you know what? I was going to say it was one of the first keys I got. I actually don't know if no, you know what?
No,
I did.
you did. You
I
did.
think this is one of the very first keys that I ever received. And that's why I made the YouTube video about it.
That's right.
So that was cool. I actually think, and I have all my VODs recorded, so we could go back and check and see if that's true. But it's very possible based on the timing of when this came out in December of 2022. It's possible that the Lil Gator Game stream is when the idea of No Small Games first got like posted to us in my chat. I think that's when it was. So this is like actually a really special game for us already.
Wait, we need to talk about the importance of alligators and this podcast, because what the hell?
I know.
Because our first episode of No Small Games is Later Alligator, and that's a game that I bought for you for your birthday, and then we both decided, let's try to practice a podcast recording with that game. Fans know the lore, but if you're new here, that is the lore. And then it's funny, because if, like, I actually, when you say that, I think you're right, that, like, this is the game you were streaming.
Positive.
When we talked about doing an indie game podcast together in the
Chappie,
chat.
shout out to Chappie from our Twitch
out.
communities. Chappie was like, hey, you know, you and Kate both like really love indie games. You guys should like do like a podcast book club thing.
And wow, God bless Chapstick Queen.
Yeah.
Thank you, Girl God, for Chapstick Queen. And thank you for alligators, which are apparently very symbolic for us.
Apparently, which is funny because I don't really feel strongly about alligators one way or another.
And that makes
dislike
one of us.
That makes one of us? You feel very strongly about alligators?
Yeah, I love alligators.
You love alligators. What do you love about alligators? Sorry, this is becoming not about the game, but now I'm just curious. What do you love about alligators?
Well, I actually have a shirt that says Flat Friend Friday, which is a riff on Flat Fuck Friday.
Yeah.
But like, I just like, I feel like anything that lives in the sea, something I like, or something that lives in water. And I know alligators are like in and out of the water and not actually like in the ocean. Well, some of them do live in the ocean, but yeah, I'm a big fan of anything that's like hanging out in the water. And so I feel like it's just part of my vibe, something that I like. And then my obsession with Flat Fuck Friday. But I mean, more broadly, there are so many games about alligators. So we could like, you know, focus on that. Maybe for like the 200th episode, we could cover another alligator game.
Maybe we could.
Yeah. What's the deal,
we'll talk about that offline. What is the deal? I don't know. Alligators, I feel just completely neutral. They exist.
You don't love them. You don't hate them. You're kind of just like, they're there.
They're fine.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Well, so I was going to suggest an alligator tattoo, but we can talk about that off the air. Like a matching one.
We've talked about later alligator tattoos several times.
Yeah. Okay, great. So I'm down.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't mind having a tattoo of an alligator?
Yeah, but it would have to be an alligator from like later alligator.
Okay.
It would have to have that meaning, not just like a generic alligator, because I don't want that.
Generic alligators are not fans of the show. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not fans of them.
So. There we go.
Yeah.
So now you're all up to date on the alligator lore.
We've closed that loop out. Thank God. Everyone who is wondering, this is how we both feel about alligators. Anyway, yeah. So I guess Lil Gator Game like is kind of a momentous. It's like a little landmark game for us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to set the scene for the game, Emily?
I would love to set the scene. So, Lil Gator Game, which I'm now gonna have to work really hard not to call later alligator. Lil Gator Game is it's a 3D third-person adventure game in the style of Zelda. It's very inspired by Zelda games.
Can I ask a question? Sorry about that, really quick.
Please do.
Sorry to interrupt you. Okay, so when you say it's like a Zelda game, what does that, like, in what way? Because I've never played a Zelda game, so I just want to know, like, which Zelda game is it like, and in what way is it like a Zelda game?
Well, I think it shares qualities of similar to like multiple different Zelda games.
Okay.
Like one of them, you could say it's got quality similar to Breath of the Wild because it's open world.
And the thing that you fly with.
Yeah, you can glide. Like a lot of the mechanics for like world traversal are the same. So you can glide. You've got the whole like climbing with the stamina circle
Yes.
rings.
Okay. I see the
That
similarity.
and just like the fact that it's completely not linear, like you're
Got
just
it.
dropped into this world, and it's like maximally open world, because I see open world as like kind of a gradient thing where you can have like more or less to it. This, once you finish the kind of little tutorial, you're just dropped into the world. You can go in any direction, talk to anybody, do any quest in any order.
True. Okay,
Which
that's
is
helpful.
like Breath of the Wild. But then it has vibes of like earlier, like much earlier games, Zelda games.
Okay.
Just through like the quote unquote combat, how that works and stuff like that, and just like the vibes.
Okay. I love that. Thank you for explaining that to me. And sorry, this is my second time interrupting you while setting the scene with a question about video
This
games.
is great. No, it's great. It's good that we're continuing to set the scene.
Great.
With answers.
Set the scene with answers.
So you're playing as Lil Gator, who is kind of one thing that's fun about Lil Gator is that they're genderless. So it's like they're kind of whatever gender you are, basically. It's like a great player insert character. And you get this little cutscene at the very beginning that establishes Lil Gator's relationship with their big sis, who used to play with them a ton when they were really little on the playground and stuff, and makeup games. And so then you fast forward to present day, where Lil Gator's maybe like 10 years old or so, maybe like 10 to 12 years old. And big sis is now in college, and Lil Gator's so excited that she's home and they're gonna play some more. But big sis has a bunch of work to do. She's got like a group project that she has to do over fall break, and she can't. She's really busy. And so Lil Gator gets together with their friends Martin and Jill and Avery to kind of set up a game in the style of the games that they used to play with their big sis, to like entice her to come play and put her work down. And that's kind of where we get started. And it doesn't work at first. You have this little tutorial where you get your little sword kind of thing that you wave around to like break stuff. You get a hat and you get your shield that you can sled around on. And then, that doesn't work. So you have to get even bigger and better. And that's when you get dropped into the big open world side of things. I guess the only other like notable thing to mention is that even though you do have a sword, there's not actually any combat. You fight these little cardboard monsters all over the world, but nobody's fighting you. You don't have a health bar. There's no danger in the game except for maybe emotional damage.
Ooh, yeah, lots of that.
Yeah. So that's where we're starting off.
Oh, there's a lot to say, I guess. Well, maybe there's not. I don't know. I just think it's I was really excited just the way that they set it up and like dropped me into the world. I feel like it's very, just right off the bat, the vibes are so welcoming and warm and cute. And I also wanted to shout out that I played the whole thing on the Steam Deck, which felt great. It is Steam Deck verified. I think it's a great handheld experience. And I was just, after like seeing the game so much, just like seeing the visuals, I was really curious how it would actually feel to play. And like, this is honestly one of the best feeling games I've ever played.
Yeah, it really is. I think this is a great segue into game design and mechanics and stuff. Do you want to talk about like what made it feel so good?
Yeah, so and it's interesting because it's like, it is like Emily said when she was setting the scene, it's an open world game. It's like Zelda. And so I feel like it's like very I guess I was kind of a little nervous of like how that would feel for me because I'm pretty new at open world games, and I think I can, but it's not first person, which is great. You can see your little gator the whole time. But yeah, I think I was just so surprised at like the ease of like, I guess, swinging the sword or whatever you happen to have in your hand at the moment. The way that you can like glide and slide. It just feels so good, and it feels so like precise, honestly. Like it's just such a satisfying feeling when you're jumping onto the platforms. I would say it's like really heavy platforming game too, even though you're not like specifically jumping onto like moving platforms. Like it is very much set up sort of, in my opinion, like a short hike where it's like you could go anywhere and you should like jump on all these like basically hills and rocks and mountaintops and trees, and you can like climb all the way up to the trees. And I think I really struggle sometimes with that when games can like offer that. Just like mechanically, I'm like, where am I going? But they just make it so easy to be precise, I think. But then also giving you a lot of flexibility to like I said, slide, glide, move around. When you deploy your little glider, which is that like what is that actually in the game?
It's a t-shirt.
A shirt? Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. It's a t-shirt, but like when you execute that mechanic and you're like gliding around with your t-shirt, it actually takes you very, very far. And like you can get a lot of momentum going. And like when you do that, you're able to like get a really nice grasp of the sense of the world around you, which I thought was very helpful and clear. So yeah, I think it's just working together really beautifully, like the way that the game feels, the way that all of the mechanics work, and then where it puts you, where that can put you in the game and what you're able to take in visually. And I do think it's nice how simple it is, because it's like, you know, one button to jump, one button to use your t-shirt glider, and then there's another button to like, I guess, do your combat or like execute your combat. So I don't know, it just feels great. I just was like so surprised by that.
Yeah, I was struck again by it, because like I haven't played it in 3+ years at this point, which is crazy. But yeah, that was my big takeaway, I think, from just the gameplay, is how nice it feels as kind of a 3D platformer. You're like, Lil Gator is very floaty with their jumps, but like floaty in a way that still feels good. And like you said, still feels precise. It's not floaty in a way where you don't really know where you're going to land. It's just you're light, you're buoyant, you know, it's nice. And swinging your little sword. Like, I'm sure some people would have an issue with this game because there isn't really much of a challenge to it and there is no combat. And I think maybe it's not, well, we'll get into like, you know, high level thoughts at the end and stuff. But like, I think it's really nice that you do just have this thing you can constantly do, which is just whack your sword on stuff. And there are little cardboard guys everywhere to destroy, and that is endlessly satisfying to just run around and whack things. It's kind of like how I felt about Slap Out of It, which is like, if I don't have anything specific I'm trying to do right now, I'm down to just whack stuff. Like, that's hell yeah, great to me.
I was doing that so much. Every time I saw a little cardboard guy, I was like, get the fuck out of here. I'm about to fuck you up. Like, it was so, they give you so much, I think. Like, I can see how some people might feel like the open world is limited. But for someone like me who has like barely played an open world game, I think this is what I've been searching for. This is what I needed. I needed to have this experience, like mechanically speaking, where it's like, okay, I don't feel dizzy. I feel like I know where I'm going. I feel like I'm coming upon things and exploring things in like a really natural, intuitive way, but I don't feel overwhelmed. And I think honestly, I don't want to say this too early, but I kept thinking while I was playing it, I was like, this is a perfect video game. This is a perfect video game. Because I'm just like, I'm having fun. And I think that, and I know that like, it's interesting too, because I think at the end you can like unlock a baby mode is what they call it. Or something, but like, and I don't know what that looks like, but I kept thinking while I was playing it, like, this would be great for like, I feel like kids could play it. There is a lot of reading, and I think depending on their reading and comprehension level, that might be difficult, but I'm like, kids playing with a parent or just like exploring video games for the first time, I feel like could really mechanically get a grasp on this game. And in a lot of ways, I feel like that sometimes with certain genres of games. So I think I was just feeling like really taken care of while playing, and that was a great feeling to have.
Yeah, I think this would be a great first game for anybody who hasn't played a 3D game before.
Yeah.
You know, if you've for somebody who's kind of, it had some experience, maybe played some 2D platformers, played some Mario games and stuff, like has a grasp of that, but has not kind of graduated into 3D spaces yet. I think this is such a great 3D game because it's like there are some things that are challenging to do. You've got the little stamina bar for climbing that limits how high you can go, and you can kind of figure out some strategies for getting up higher. So like there's some challenge, but like you're never being chased. You're never kind of like on the ropes, like, oh my God, this thing is after me and I don't know what to do and I keep forgetting, what button's what and that kind of thing that you experience when you're new at games. So I think I think this is such a good game for that audience.
Yeah, I think mechanically it just does. It's such a smooth experience and it's so polished and it feels great. Like, I guess I was just expecting a little jank with the game, honestly, and I'm happy to say I never encountered any.
Yeah, no, it's like I think the art style too lends itself to being pretty. It performs well, and it's like you said, it's not a huge open world. It's really bite sized, and I think this is so much better than like necessarily handing somebody like Breath of the Wild for the first time
Absolutely.
especially as a first open world game. Like, this is a great size. It does feel like there's a lot to explore. And like, I mean, I spent another 5-ish hours in it this week and am realizing, today as we were getting ready to record, I realized like there are whole characters I met in my first playthrough who I didn't meet this time. So like,
Yeah.
there's plenty of space there to run around and discover and explore. And it's I think a well-populated world with lots of characters and lots of little secrets and things, but still manageable.
Yeah, there's a lot of optional stuff, which I honestly didn't realize when I was playing it. But then I started to like understand, like they do a really good job based on like color coding and like little signaling, like which things are necessary and like when to talk to certain characters. But then there are other characters you could come upon where like you may or may not help them with their quest, So like that took me a minute to comprehend. But I do think that like, yeah, everyone playing this experience, which I guess must be a thing with open world games, could just do whatever, do it in any order. And I think that is really impressive, honestly. Like, as I was playing through it, I was like, oh, it's so cool that like I'm doing this quest right now, but someone else probably did this last. Like, I don't know, I think that's really impressive to me just from like a game design standpoint. I can't imagine like how you would do that, So I think that they pulled that off really well too.
I think they did a good job too of like accounting for even within quest lines. There were several times where I accomplished the quest before I talked to the person who gave me the quest.
Me too.
There were a couple times where the conversation did not make a whole lot of sense because I hadn't seen the initial dialogue.
Yeah.
But by and large, that worked out pretty well too. Like, it didn't punish you for jumping the gun by accident.
It's so cool because I feel like I am now getting an understanding of like what that gameplay, or like I guess like I don't want to say gameplay loop, but like what an open world game can look like from a design standpoint. I feel like I have a better understanding of that after playing this game.
Nice. I love that. That was one of my main questions, was how you were going to feel about this game, given your experience with other open world games and feeling a little uncertain about it. I'm curious also, because it does have that 3D platformer vibe, and I've heard you say recently you're still feeling kind of maybe iffy with 3D platformers. How did you feel like this? How did you feel being in the 3D space in this game versus in other ones where you've kind of felt maybe a little uncertain?
It's such a good and thoughtful question, and it's funny because, like, I want it so bad. Like, I want to play the 3D platforming game so bad. Like, I tried to play Demon Tides. It's called Demon Tides, right? That's this one that came out more recently. And it was just, I wanted to just be able to play it, but I couldn't. And, like, I feel like I've really discovered that I love 2D platformers and precision platformers, and I can really handle those and enjoy them and excel in them. And so I'm like, I just feel like it would make sense if I also enjoyed a 3D platformer, but I just cannot grasp it yet, and I'm not giving up. But I think that it's just funny because I didn't even think about this as a 3D world or like as a 3D platformer, even though it obviously is like 3D, but they just do such a good job at making me feel in control as the player, and like that I didn't even realize that I was playing a 3D game, which is like so cool that I didn't even think about that, in my opinion. So I don't know. I think that yeah, there's something to it of like having just giving you just enough freedom and access to certain mechanics, or like maybe it's something to do with the camera, because I never felt like, I feel like when you're controlling Lil Gator and you're kind of like moving them around the world, like it never feels like, whenever I adjusted the point of view, I never felt like, oh, I just barely touched it and all of a sudden I'm over here and I can't see anything. It just feels like so precise, I guess, like even from like the camera viewpoint. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just very contained, but just flexible enough. I did not even realize I was like playing a 3D platformer of sorts. So it probably also helps that there's no combat or timers, because there are some mini games that have a time-based element to it, but I think I can get overwhelmed with those in some of the 3D platformers I've played too. Is just like there's someone coming at me and I got to think about how to both move and turn the camera and get the enemy at the same time. That's too many things for me to think about at once. So yeah, I just like that they just didn't throw a lot at me, so I was just able to just like be present and enjoy.
Yeah. Yay! I'm really glad. I'm glad that you liked it on both counts, as open world and a 3D game.
Love it.
Let's see. Some other little tidbits that I loved. I love that some of the side quests and some of the main quests get you additional, basically like cosmetics. Like you can get different sort of swords, and they look different when you're holding them, but they also like, many of them have different qualities. Like I really loved the fairy wand. It has,
that's
like,
the one I used the whole
sparkles.
time.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
I love that one. The like little lightsaber. There's like one of those plastic hand things. I don't know if it was a back scratcher, or was it one of those like blah, 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 blah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the sticky hand where you can like slap it in the tree and swing around.
Oh my God, that's right. That is a thing. I got that the first time I played it. I didn't get that this most recent time.
There's so many things you could get. It's wild.
Yeah. And then there's different, there are different cape, or I guess hat/capes, and then a bunch of different sort of like optional items. There's a great like slingshot kind of thing where you can throw a rock, or like there's paper shurikens.
Good point. Forgot about
there's, what are some, oh, you can blow a bubble to float.
You can blow bubble
bit.
gum. If you get the bubble gum from the old man, you can literally, that was so funny and surprising to me. I was like, are you fucking, I was laughing my ass off, by the way, playing this game. Which, like, I feel like I don't do that often, but there were so many moments where I was genuinely tickled to the point of like, are you serious? It was so funny. Like, this old man will give you bubble gum and he's like, I better not find that wrapper anywhere. And then I think I executed the mechanic on accident. Like I pressed like R2 or something. Yeah. And all of a sudden I'm floating above with my bubble. I was like, is that the gum? It was so funny. I almost fell off my chair. It was so funny.
There's just so much surprise and delight going on. Like,
yeah.
It makes it feel like there's a lot to do, even though without combat. I think this is a great example of a game where like you can have a really interesting fleshed out game where you're not fighting stuff. I also love that like you have two currencies, which I feel like I at least was never like feeling pressed for any currency or thinking about currencies, which is kind of nice. I don't really like having to think about currencies in games a lot.
True.
So you collect like little paper pieces because you and your friends are making this paper game world, and you're breaking down cardboard things. So you get little paper pieces, and that lets you unlock like the different cosmetics once you've fulfilled the quest for them. And there's some other stuff that you need the papers for. You can find this sock monkey that will give you additional bracelets so that you can have more stamina rings, which I loved. That was like my goal, was I got to find the sock monkey everywhere because I need more. I need to climb. I need to go up.
She needs to go up. Let her go up.
Let me go up. And then your other currency, quote unquote, is basically friends. And like you collect friends as you go along, as you help people out with their little side quests. They go and meet you on the playground. And then the sort of big quest unlockable things, once you've helped out each of your friends, Jill, Martin, and Avery, with kind of their side stuff, they'll all meet you at the playground and they have an idea for a big section that they want to build, and you have to contribute the little paper pieces to help them. Or no, sorry, it's not the paper pieces. You contribute friends to help them build that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I love that. I think that's really sweet and felt really cohesive with like the whole narrative and stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's so sweet. It's so good. It's like, I think that they're balancing all of these things really well in this game, like all the stuff that they have going on. It's just such a solid, cohesive experience that is like designed well, but also just like plays really well. It's very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun. Anything else on the game design or mechanics side?
One thing I wanted to mention was that I didn't realize, but depending on what hat you wear and what items you use, you can go faster, or like they'll like affect you in a different way. Like I realized this when there's like one of the quests where you help a magnolia grow, and you help someone grow a little magnolia from the water, and you have to help gather fresh water with a bucket. And then after you do that little quest, you can get the bucket hat. And I was wearing the bucket hat, and I was like, I feel like I'm going way slower. And I was pretty sure. And so I swapped back to my princess hat. But like, yeah, I think I think there's like a ninja headband you can wear that makes you go faster.
There's you can get different like shields to use as your sled, and there's a trampoline that you can get. I love that one because the trampoline lets you like bounce a bunch.
I think like that was really fun and surprising for me, and like motivated me to try to collect all the different hats and swords and shields, etc. And I also love that the game does what you think it's going to do, because it's like, oh, I see this giant umbrella. I bet if I jump on it, I'm going to bounce all the way up in the air.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. And you know what? I needed that. And then there's like a giant whale, and I was like, I bet if I climb on top of this whale, it's going to shoot me up into the sky.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened, folks. And you know what? Sometimes we need that in games, and it's such a satisfying feeling when the game does exactly what you think it's going to do. For me anyway, I'm like, how fun. We're on the same page.
Yeah. I had a moment exactly like that last night. I'm trying to think what it was. It might have been the whale, but there was a moment where I was like, oh, I bet this is what's going to happen. And it was, and I was like, thank you. I wanted it to happen, and it did. Yeah. Oh.
It's so freaking cute. It feels great.
Yeah.
TLDR, it feels great to play. The mechanics are a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah. I think they do a good job of like having some fresh, unexpected things, and then a lot of stuff that is like kind of plays on classic video game tropes in a way you want, in a way you like.
Dude, and I was thinking while playing it, like the other thing it reminded me of besides A Short Hike is Alba Wildlife Adventure, which I also really like that game.
Oh, yeah.
But then it also reminded me of a game I really want you to play, Emily. It's like it's a 2D platformer. Here Comes Nico, because that happens in that game too, where you like bounce on the umbrella, and that one has like the Paper Mario art style, and it's very. I just feel like if you like Lil Gator Game, for anyone listening, I feel like those would be my recommendations if you want something similar, like A Short Hike, Alba Wildlife Adventure, and Here Comes Nico. I think that they're all kind of, they remind me, this game reminds me of all three of those in different ways.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Makes sense. Let's see, art direction.
Ooh,
visually.
Looks great.
It's very cute. It's kind of got the like ooplet style of.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think like what else. I feel like it's got this is a pretty common style where it's like lowish poly, but in a smooth way, not in a blocky way.
Can you like change the visuals, or can you make it more like, maybe I'm thinking of a different game. I feel like I might be thinking of a different game, but it looks, I don't actually know how to describe the art style. To me, it looks like something that has been collaged together. Like, I know that it's not paper. Like, I know that like it wasn't made with I guess like mixed art materials, but it almost looks like that to me, and I don't really know how to describe the art style.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's something about it that's a little paper crafty, and it might be because some of the details on characters are just kind of a little rough around the edges.
Yeah.
You know, overall everybody's very smooth edged, but there's some roughness at times.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like this very kind of cartoony 3D modeling where everybody's looks a little gummy.
So cute.
You
Everyone
know,
looks
I
cute.
enjoy it. Yeah. And the world's just very like bright and vibrant and welcoming. So
It's gorgeous. Like the water is gorgeous. It feels great to swim in the water. It looks great. But then like, you get your trees that are really tall, but then there are some trees that are like more fall colored. But then there's like this giant I guess like radio tower and a giant windmill. Like I feel like it's just offering a lot visually and it all looks really good together.
yeah. One thing that I had a complaint about and then discovered I could fix it in settings, which was awesome, is you can change in the settings how like close the camera is to Lil Gator. I was feeling like
Oh.
it was just too close and I couldn't really see everything I wanted to see around me. So I just zoomed all the way out and that felt way better to me.
Whoa.
I could like my horizon line felt more like where it should be as I was running around. So
Ooh, I should try that. That's really
yeah.
cool that they offer that.
Yeah, they have a lot of settings for that kind of stuff, which I thought was really cool. So
I
I didn't
usually
investigate
look.
all of them because I was looking for that specific thing.
And
I
they
was like, I
had
need to
it.
see more, and they had it. So that was cool.
What? That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
It does just like, yeah, it looks great. It's cool.
Music wise, what did you think?
I like the music. It's very sweet. I did try to look up the soundtrack briefly today, and I couldn't find it. I mean, it might be on Bandcamp. I didn't look there, but I couldn't find the soundtrack. But I do think it's like sweet and effective. But I honestly think that the sound effects shine a lot more. Like just every time you slash one of them cardboard enemies, it's just like it sounds exactly like what you want. Again, they're doing exactly what I want them to do. Like that sounds great. All the water noises when you jump in the water, like all the like everything just sounds perfect and it's crisp and it's clear and it sounds like what you would expect from that moment. And I don't think is there like because there's a lot of dialogue, but I don't think there's any like Animal Crossing-esque voice reading it to you. I think it's just
I don't think so. Yeah.
I think you just read it. I don't think the characters really make any noise, but I
Yeah.
don't have any complaints about that. Like I honestly was really impressed with the sound, like the environmental sound design. And I
Yeah.
think the music pairs nicely with it. And it's not like super impressionable in my opinion, but I do think it's like a nice blending of the two, and it's very pleasant. But I just think they really outdid themselves with like what does like slashing this these like weeds sound like, and what does jumping onto this whale sound like, and flying through the air. So I thought that was really cool. What about you? Did you have any like sound notes?
I kind of agree on everything. Like, I think the sound design for just your interactions and engaging with the world was the best part. Like the like sound of running through the leaves and just like running on the grass. Also, actually, just to go back to the art direction and like visually, one of my favorite things is just Lil Gator's running animation. Whoever like rigged that model did such an incredible job because Lil Gator, okay, I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be like 10 years old or so, but they do still run like they're about 3 years old, but in a
Yes.
really charming way.
It's
They're
charming.
just like, they're kind of like out of control as they're running. Their just limbs are everywhere, and it's so funny. But yeah, I think that the sound design is really great. Like you said, everything sounds like exactly what you want it to sound like, especially all the cardboard stuff, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So good. I think the music was really sweet. I hadn't really spent a lot of time the first time around that I played it listening to the music because I streamed it. So this time around, I was able to just focus on that a little bit more. And it's like, it's really nice. I would put this soundtrack on in the background for whatever, cleaning the house or doing, yeah, I don't know,
Totally.
doing some art or something like that. But it's also not like the most memorable soundtrack. I'm not
Yeah.
going to run around raving about this soundtrack, but it was fitting and it was really nice.
It's kind of repetitive too, but then I've said that before and realized that there's like 100 songs in the game, so I don't want to say that.
That's not. But I don't know. If you walk away, like that's how I felt with the Tiny Bookshop. That's how I felt about the Tiny
Yes,
Bookshop.
no, you're so right.
Soundtrack, where it was like, playing it, I was like, Jesus Christ, I've heard this same song like
100 times,
5 times in the last hour.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that it's actually got this really like extensive soundtrack. And it's like, okay, if I think that, if I'm actively thinking that while I'm playing the game, then the soundtrack isn't very, even if there are lots of tracks, it's not very varied. Yeah. So, yeah.
I did notice hearing the same thing a lot. Like I was like, oh, I think I've heard this song before. I felt the same way with Magical Delicacy. That was the game I was referring to. But yes, Tiny Bookshop is so like that too. I think like, and I'm sure we've talked about this before, but like I feel like it's like good sound design is one that you almost like don't notice. We're of course talking about it on every episode that we do, so we're looking for it. But like I think in a lot of ways, if it's successful, like as a sound designer, I guess I would see it as like not as successful if someone had that complaint of like, oh, I heard the same thing over and over again, or like if they noticed, I guess. But you know, video games are different than theater. So, and we are trying to pay attention to these things when we review games. So, but I do think that like they made up for it with all the other cool sounds. Like they made up for the repetitive music. But I would like to go give it a listen if it's available anywhere.
Yeah. And I never had a moment where I was like, oh, I'm sick of this song. I wonder if they do the thing that's very Zelda to do, which is to assign a theme to a part of the world. Because the world is like, it's broken into several sections. You've got like the main hub playground area, and then you've got like the big tree where Jill and her friends hang out, and then you've got the windmill splash zone area. So fun. Love a water park.
I knew you were gonna love that part.
And then you've got the mountain where Avery and the troubadours are doing their theatrical stuff. And I wonder if they took like 1 or 2 tracks and just kind of assigned those to each like
That's
zone.
A good point. I could see that. I'm gonna have to pay attention and go listen, because that would make a lot of sense. That's interesting that Zelda does that, but that makes a lot of sense, like associating specific environments or characters with certain musical themes or what have you.
Yeah.
Like the fairy sound in Zelda, right? It's always the same, or like the little fairy music when you come upon a fairy.
Yeah, and there's like the Rito Village song, and the thing with Zelda though is that like I think the tracks are pretty long. And so you don't necessarily notice. And then you've got like different times of day where like the music will just die out. So you're not constantly listening to music the whole time. And that might be true here, actually. I
think so.
I'd have to go back and pay a little bit more attention to when there was or wasn't music. But
I think you might be right about that.
I think it was good overall.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Any accessibility features? I feel bad. I did not look, other than my little nitpick about the camera zoom, which they
I didn't look either, and I always do. I'm like, what am I doing?
But that's cool. You didn't.
I didn't need them.
Yeah.
I'm curious if there's another font style. That was one thing where I was like, it's pretty friendly for my eyes to read, but I do always like to check that out. But I don't know. I don't have any notes on this because I just had such an easy time getting going. But I do try to make a habit of looking at that first thing. So I guess I just went in and had a successful time. So that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, I guess it's time to talk about the story and the characters and the world.
Aww.
A lot of charming characters in here.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to talk about obviously like the whole storyline with like Lil Gator and Big Sis, but like let's talk about some of the other characters first, because there's a bajillion of them.
There's so many.
And they're all very charming. What did you think of kind of the main gang of Jill and Martin and Avery? Like, did you have any thoughts or feelings on them?
I think they're cool. I think that the side characters stuck out more to me, to be honest, for whatever reason. Like, I just feel like maybe part of that was that they were just visually more appealing to me. Like, they were, like, I'm speaking about, like, the shark, and there's some in, like, the water park area, and, like, the raccoon.
Oh, yeah,
like,
there's like dozens, yeah.
There's so many, and I just feel like I was a little bit more interested in those characters than, like, the main crew. But you know, every little gator has to have their core group of friends that they're doing stuff with. So I'm glad that it was a diverse friend group, and also that they were interested in different things. I thought that was really special.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they're really interesting, and it's just funny because, like, Lil Gator's really, like, single-minded, like, one-track mind about, like, I gotta get Big Sis to come play with us, and we have to play the game. We have to play this game that I want to play. And it seems kind of like just still stuck a little bit in childhood in that way that, like, I think to me feels very familiar, or, like, not familiar, but, like, I remember those days of feeling that transition of, like, I'm becoming not a kid or not a little kid anymore, you know? And there's kind of all that anxiety around, like, there's stuff about being a kid that I like, and I don't want to, like, lose that, you know? And Lil Gator's really still, like, entrenched in the childhoodness of it all, and his friends are like, I don't know, so much more mature. And Martin is the horse. And I love all their character design. Martin's a horse.
Oh, Martin's
Jill
great, yeah.
Is what is
bear?
Jill? Like
I don't know.
Oh, maybe
is she a bear?
Yeah. I thought maybe she was like a squirrel. I don't know. Something. A mammal. And then Avery is the frog. And, like, Martin keeps being like, you know, you could just, like, talk to her about this. Talk to your sister. Like, and Lil Gator's like, no adult conversations, we gotta solve this with shenanigans. And then, like, Jill's studying for, like, prep school and stuff, and, like, this is such an interesting friend group.
Yeah, I don't know, for me, I was kind of thinking about it from the context of, like, maybe, like, Lil Gator's feeling behind just because they don't have their thing yet, you know? And they that's definitely relatable too, where it's like, oh, I see, like, at this age, I guess, where you see all of your friends, like, their thing is soccer and their thing is theater, and, like, what's my thing, or, like, what do I care about for my future? What do I want to do? And I think like from a really young age, we're told, like, you know, figure out what your dreams are, like, figure out what your job's going to be. And it's just like, of course it's great to explore that and, like, figure that out. But I think that there is a lot of pressure to be like, pick something, basically. And so I wonder if, like, Lil Gator is just, like, a little bit lost in the sauce there of, like, maybe having an identity crisis of sorts, where it's like, I see myself getting left behind in all of my most important connections because everybody has their thing. But, like, lo and behold, Lil Gator's thing, actually, like, they would be a great stage manager. They would be a great communications manager. They are helping everybody along the way in a way that is very valuable. So it's kind of cute because it's like, throughout the story, I feel like Lil Gator doesn't really see their value, but, like, I feel like they're already naturally good at a certain thing, you know? Like, almost in a way it feels like, I don't want to say, like, jack of all trades, master of none type, but just, like, clearly very helpful and is capable of, like, finding their way and doing their thing. And so, but I don't know, maybe they're just struggling with that, like, feeling left behind, possibly. I don't know, these are just things I was thinking about while playing it.
It's possible, yeah. I feel like we don't get a ton from Lil Gator on, like, what they're really going through, because it's clear that, like, they are definitely going through something, and it's definitely related to this transition between, like, being childhood, like childhood, and this, like, adolescence phase, and really resisting that. Like, that's feeling like, oh man, I don't want to I don't want to give up all this stuff that I love doing, you know, and feeling like, I don't know about like seeing Jill studying for prep school and being like, oh man, I don't want to be doing that. Like, damn,
Yeah.
you know. So it's interesting because I remember that from around maybe like 11, like going into middle school and feeling like, damn, this is not going to be the same anymore.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a
I don't
scary
get to
feeling.
do all this stuff that I got to do when I was a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, it's great to be a kid, and I'm going to have to say goodbye to that one day, you know?
Totally.
And
Yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah, it is interesting. I feel like Lil Gator is definitely on a different path, or like in a different mindset than a lot of the main characters in the game or side characters.
Yeah. Oh, I'll just shout out to Avery Avery is definitely an Aquarius. Avery says the most like fourth dimensional shit.
Yes.
Where it's just like, but is also wise, but also you're like, what? And then there's this one at the very beginning of the game after you do the tutorial, you like have a little exchange with everybody's like parting ways to go do their thing, and Avery's the last one to say goodbye, and I forget what Avery says first, but like concludes the conversation and then cartwheels directly into the water.
So
out
weird.
Of sight. It's so funny. I fucking
I'm
love
here
Avery.
and then I'm not.
Yeah, it's like, okay, bye. Oh, it's so good. Did you have any side characters that stood out that you remember as being like, oh, I love this person?
Yeah, I love the old man in the house. I love the shark. I love the raccoon. I love the little bat named, I think her name's Esme. She's just so little and cute. Like, a lot of the characters are just like really well designed, but also like the writing and the way that they interact with each other is so funny to me. And I feel like it's very like, I feel like the humor is like almost like late millennial, like early millennial, late Gen Z coded, because it kind of reminds me of the dialogue in The Wide Open Skies Running Out of Catfish as well, where it's like, it is so sincere and so like genuinely funny, some of these dialogue moments. But yeah, I feel like a lot of the characters are honestly, for me, really memorable, like a lot of the side characters. So yeah, I just liked helping them out. I liked I don't remember their name, but the one who wants you to find the bug, the beetle.
Oh gosh, yeah. What is their name? The iguana guy.
Yeah, love a little friend who's obsessed with bugs.
Yeah.
They're all just like so cute, and they just like belong in this world, and they make the world of the game stronger. And you really do get that sense of like, this is a community. Like, I feel like when you're playing it.
All the little side characters are so fun and so like clearly different, like little individuals.
Yeah.
You know, like they each have their little individual personality. I love Gerald the giraffe, who's like, I was just close my eyes for a second and now I'm surrounded by cardboard monsters and I would like you to get them off
fix
of
it.
me.
Please fix. Yeah, there's who is the one that's like on that she has like all the pink. She's like having a tea party of sorts.
It's oh gosh, Tiffany? Yeah, Tiffany. I love her, the little Siamese cat.
Yeah, so cute.
She's so cute. Her little story kind of makes me sad, although it ends happily where she's like, I'm having a tea party and like, I'm a princess, you have to respect me. But then she's like, I'm preparing like the tea party for my guest of honor, and it's her mom, Carol, who's on the cell phone like nonstop, and it's like, Carol, your daughter's waiting for you.
Carol, you're missing the best parts of being a mother.
And you eventually get her off the phone, and it's sweet. But it's like, aw.
Yeah.
I love that.
There's a lot of good stuff here. Sorry, I feel like I interrupted you. Did you have other side characters that made an impression on you?
Gosh, I don't know. A lot of them were really sweet. I liked, so Esme is one of the theater troupe. There's the bull who's part of that troupe who has to is babysitting their younger siblings. That was really sweet. That was a cute little, I liked corralling the little siblings. There's a moment, I didn't particularly love this character, but one of the cool kids that Martin hangs out with, Duke, is a duck or something.
Duke the duck.
Kind of waterfowl. And you wind up having to have this little like Phoenix Wright moment where you
Yeah.
take Duke to court and you have to like identify their and Martin's like questionable statements and stuff. And,
That was
like,
so funny.
I loved it. It was good. A lot of cute moments like that.
So good. So cute.
Also, Twig is the character who I ran into my first playthrough when I streamed it. Twig, who's this Pomeranian wearing jeans and like running like a mad person around the forest. And you have to like, I think you have to catch them or something. You have to race them. But they're really funny.
I don't know if I ran into them.
They're a great character. They're like very hyper. How you'd picture a Pomeranian to be.
Great to know.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's any other. Should we talk about Lil Gator and Big Sis and that storyline?
Sure. Do we want to do a little spoiler or no?
Yeah, let's do spoilers. Let's do spoilers section for the whole thing because it's
Okay.
kind of like the very beginning and then the very end basically is when that storyline comes full circle. So,
Do you want to like walk us through the nuts and bolts of this Big Sis storyline?
yeah. So Lil Gator is really intent on getting Big Sis to come play because she was the one who got Lil Gator playing this game in the first place. And it basically sounds like it was sort of LARPing. It sounds like she took like a TTRPG. This is through like little tiny, context clues. It sounds like she took a TTRPG and turned it into like this LARPing framework world for Lil Gator to kind of play in. And they became obsessed with this game and always wanted to play it with Big Sis. And then they kind of grew apart because she, entered high school and then college, and Lil Gator's still a little guy, a little kid. And she like moved out, she moved into the dorms, like she's away at college and doing, adult stuff now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where the whole thing starts. And this whole game, like setting up this game across the entire island is this like ploy to get her to come play. And everybody gets involved. All the kids get involved. And it requires cajoling. It requires cajoling and extending of the game to make it interesting to everybody so that they'll come join. And so one of the big revelations at the end that Lil Gator has is, oh my God, what she was doing this whole time for me to make this fun and to set up this game is fucking exhausting. So like, she might not want to come play with me because she's really tired. She's working hard, and this is basically more work for her. She might not want to do it because there's a lot of pressure right now on top of everything else she's got going on. And frankly, I was like, fucking finally. Because this second time that I played through, I started to find Lil Gator a little annoying.
So fair.
Because they're just so... They're not thinking about anybody else unless they have to try to get them to come play the game. Mm-hmm. Which feels almost a little manipulative. You know what I mean? Because it's like they're not extending thought or care or compassion to their friends and the people around them unless it serves them and their purpose, which is to play this game. And I'm like, dude, come on. Like, think about somebody else. They're like very kind of in their own world about everything until that very end, until they start to have these revelations about their sister, and they go through this kind of like mind palace, like recollection of memories along with the three best friends. Yeah. So and they have a couple other kind of revelations about Big Sis too, but that's like their other big thing is like discovering like, hey, maybe I should ask her about her. Like, maybe I should ask her about what's going on with her in her world and like learn a little bit about her and what she's going through. And like, maybe I think something that they're struggling with a lot the whole time is this idea that, like, in their mind, fun should always be priority. And it's not wrong to want to have fun, but it's also okay that other people have other priorities too. And that's like a big revelation for them. So that, I feel like there are other things that happen with their conversation with their sister, but I'll stop talking there. I've been ranting about this. So that's sort of the culmination of that side of the story.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I feel like the game really like sets this up for you at the end, like in a pretty cinematic way, in my opinion. Like, the edges are a little fuzzy, and like you were saying, it's like some sort of dream state. I forgot what you called it. Mind layer. I don't know.
Mind palace.
Mind palace. Mind layer. Not Stranger Things. Yeah, it's like a mind palace moment, and I feel like it's cool because then at the very end you see Big Sis, like, well, you see them have that conversation where Lil Gator finally says, like, hey, I'm going to think about things from your perspective now and ask you how you're doing, basically, which, like, basic ass shit. It's good that Lil Gator is learning this.
It's good to learn. It's good to learn empathy.
And take that with you, Lil Gator, wherever you go for the rest of your life. But it is just, like, it was so sweet because then Big Sis finally stops working for a minute. Like, she's like, you know what? I should take a break. And then the game is over. And it's just like, man, there is one thing that Lil Gator says to Big Sis at the end that just, like, it got me so good because, full disclosure, I'm a big sis. So I was, like, choked up at this part. I mean, you don't have to be a big sis to be choked up at this part. But it was, like, it's just funny because I was just visiting my family in Utah, like, and the whole time I was there, I was working, and I just felt such guilt for that, and it was just, like, so funny because Lil Gator actually says something to Big Sis that my little sisters said the exact same thing to me when I was in Utah recently. Like, I was, like, kind of apologizing to them for having to work the whole time I was there, and then one of them said, like, it just like means a lot that you were here. Like, it's enough that you were just here.
Yeah.
And Lil Gator says that to Big Sis, like, it's just nice to have you here even though you're not, like, playing, basically. And I was just like, oh my god, like, I'm destroyed right now. Like, why am I playing this game right now? It just was so timely for me. And so the whole time Big Sis was, like, talking about working and you know, saying that she didn't have time to play, like, I was just, like, really thinking about my little sisters because that's kind of how I felt on this last trip. Like, I was like, I don't have time to play, I guess, and to have fun and to spend that time with them. But like, yeah, it was just, like, a very full circle moment for me. So excited to call the sisters after this recording. Yeah, it was just, like, really surprising. Like, it was almost like they said the exact same thing. And so it was just really special to me. And I like that Lil Gator acknowledged that, basically. Like, it's just nice that you're here. To just, like, have your presence and, like, to just, like, to have you be present even though you have to do other stuff. So yeah, very sweet stuff. And it's just funny because I wasn't expecting to be, like, I guess I could have seen it coming, but I wasn't expecting to be, like, that emotionally impacted by the story. So
yeah, it was really sweet. I really loved that conversation that they eventually had where, like, Lil Gator's finally like, okay, I can't just try to force people to do what I want to do, you know? And, like, if I really care about this person, if I really care about my sister, I should learn about her, you know?
Absolutely.
And I think, like, the big lesson there that isn't really, I like that there's like huge growth from beginning to end with Lil Gator, you know, and I love that. And a lot of it's not, like, hammered into, it's not super explicit, you know, but, like, I think they walk away with the understanding finally that, like, because they're really resistant to this idea of, like, adult stuff, no adult stuff. And I think they finally realize that, like, the adult stuff isn't necessarily, like, the working or the studying or the activity. It's the empathy. It's the care. It's putting
noticing.
as much work into the relationship as they've been putting in and trying to understand other people. Like, that's growing up.
Yeah.
You can still play, and then they go and play, and everybody winds up playing. You know, everybody who had different priorities also wind up playing. But like, you know, I think I wish that along the way, maybe Lil Gator had tried to understand people for the sake of understanding people before the very end.
Yes.
Rather than just, let me understand this person so that I can make them do what I want them to.
Yes.
It's like very Machiavellian and
Yes.
like a weird, in a weird way. But I guess it's like, it's very little kid-like. You know? It's like, you know, they don't, empathy is a big thing to learn. So
it's a core memory, a core moment for Lil Gator, a core moment of growth, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And like they do kind of, in my opinion, like close it up really nicely with that. Like it's very clear that Lil Gator has learned something emotionally.
Yeah. I like that. So I think it ends really well.
Love it. So surprising.
But it's a lot of lessons that are like hard to learn and like kind of subtle, you know.
Yeah, I just keep thinking about how great it would be for kids to play this too. So sounds like it's possible. So it's cool. I like that it was like so thoughtfully designed in a way that could be fun for both kids and, you know, adults.
I think so. I think this would be a great game to play with your kids because you can kind of like, I think this could produce a lot of great moments for parents to get to be like, hey, so what do you think about this? You know, what do you think about Lil Gator? Like,
what are you taking away from this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just so sweet. Good stuff.
Good stuff. Is there anything else about the game? What happens next? Let me look at the outline. We are going to talk about rating the game. Emily, would you like to tell the audience how if you don't want to share anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Great
play time too. Just like, you know, 4 or 5 hours, sweet spot. So if you're new, hello, welcome. You made it this far. At No Small Games on the show specifically, we have kind of a different way of rating the games. We like to give a nod to the fact that everybody is different in their gaming experiences and also desires and preferences when it comes to their games. So we are not trying to give some kind of objective rating or scale here that we think is going to apply universally to everybody. This is a very personal take that we're about to give in our assessment of the game. Our ratings are more like how we feel about the game rather than how good we feel the game is. So rather than giving it a score on a scale of like a percentage or stars or something, we rate the game on a scale of ourselves. So I will be giving it somewhere between 1 and 10 Emily's. Kate will give it somewhere between 1 and 10 Kate's. And that's the deal.
Love it. I feel confident. I feel ready to rate the game. I'm giving Lil Gator Game a confident 9.5 Kates out of Kates. Out of 10 Kates.
Out of 10 Kates.
I always mess that up. Yeah, I love it. I think it's just a perfect game for me at the point in my gaming journey that I'm at to like start getting more comfortable with 3D games. But you know, even beyond that, I just think that it's such a perfect little package that offers a lot. It's satisfying and it has a great story and it looks cute and it sounds cute. So like for me, honestly, what's not to love? I didn't encounter any bugs except for ones that belonged in nature that I was supposed to find for a quest. And so I'm so happy with my experience. And it's honestly very rare for me to, throughout the process of this podcast, to be like, I am going to make time to continue playing any game. And like, I like this so much and I like the experience so much, especially on my Steam Deck, that I'm like, I gotta buy that DLC like yesterday. Like, I am ready to play Lil Gator Game in the dark because like it just feels so good to play and I just want to explore more in a new environment and I really want to see what's up with this DLC. So I just loved it. I loved it and I'm so happy that you suggested it, Emily, as one of the games we could cover this season. So hats off to the Gators and to No Small Games because we are connected. So that's
no small gators.
No small
but
gators.
Little gators, but no small gators.
No small gators. Let us know in the Discord if you're listening.
Oh God. I'm so glad that you liked it so much. I'm so sorry. I just everything on my desk. No, I'm so glad that you loved it so much. I'm glad that it was I feel like this is a stepping stone, hopefully, to like more 3D platformers, more open world. I think it's a great first of both. I you know what? It's funny. I was trying to remember what I gave it in my video that I made, and maybe I'll repost the video before or after we publish this episode. Maybe I'll share that. Maybe people can tell me whether or not I should go back to making videos beyond just the one that I made.
We need more than one. We need more than one at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me know. Other people, if you like it, let me know if you want more, and I'll think about making more. But I think I give it a 4 out of 5, and I think I'm gonna give it the same. I'm gonna give Lil Gator Game 8 Emilys out of 10. I think 2 is enough times for me to have played it. I don't think I'd pick up this game a third. I am curious about the DLC, but I think I want a little more. I like a little combat. I like a little something, a little something challenging. And I feel like the emotional challenges of the game, I think, are really lovely, and it tells a really great story. I think it's a game that almost anybody could pick up and get something fun out of, especially like with your kids or as kids. And it just, like you said, it feels really great to play. So I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. Beautiful.
That's Lil Gator Game, y'all. We are going to move on to one small thing.
One small thing.
Which is a moment in the episode where we get to talk about something we've been enjoying outside of the podcast. A podcast game. Sorry. Something we've been enjoying outside of games for the podcast.
Guys, we exist outside of the podcast. I don't know if you knew this.
Oh, no. This is my first time hearing that we exist outside of the podcast, but it's good to know.
This is Emily. Us breaking free. I thought we were stuck in the podcast.
New video game where it's like 2 indie game podcasters that are stuck in their podcast.
It's Ready like Player One, but...
It's perfect. Let's workshop it. Oh, God. Anyway, one small thing we've been enjoying outside of games for the podcast. Emily, what do you have for me?
I feel so bad. I have just been playing game. Like,
it can be a game.
I have one, but I'm telling you my train of thought. Don't worry. But I feel bad because the last, I feel like 3 or 4 one small things, I feel like I have been searching to try to figure out what have I been doing or consuming outside of games. But just this last week I got to play Minecraft for the first time in over a decade.
Let's absolutely go.
It was probably 2014.
Wow.
Since I last picked up Minecraft. And I got to play with a couple of friends, and it was so fun. Minecraft is definitely one of those games that I think is way more fun with friends. And it reminded me, too, why this is such a special game and why it made such a big splash. I think it is truly one of the best survival crafting games out there. And I've been on a survival crafting game kick. You might hear me in the June Indie Game Roundup talking about a little survival crafting game I've been playing, too. But yeah, it was really nice, and it was such a sweet moment with both of them. Lots of laughs were had. It's great. Minecraft. I want to play more too. I want to get back in there.
Dude, I yearn for the mines. Cool. She yearns for the mines. You know what's cool is I recently picked up on cassette tape the Minecraft soundtrack on cassette, and I'm a big fan of that artist C418 or C418, also did the Wanderstop soundtrack. So I'm excited to listen to those cassettes. I played Minecraft one time with my cousins, had a blast, but was visually overwhelmed. But they just kind of drove, and I was like, okay, cool. I'd love to try it again someday. I do own it. So maybe we could play sometime together.
That'd be so fun. They were saying I should start an SMP for my Twitch community, which is a Minecraft server that lives off in the
cool.
of people can join whenever and stuff. And
that would be great.
That'd be fun.
I'd love to get cracked at Minecraft.
Mind
Mind
cracked?
cracked.
I don't know. We'll have to workshop that.
I'm also going to tease a game that I will talk about more during the indie game roundup, but it is a TTRPG. It's baby's first TTRPG.
Ooh,
It's
yay.
called Tacklebox. It is it's a surreal fishing game where you play. It's a 2-player game. It's just a deck of cards. The only rules are you play as Robin and Parker, who are 2 fishermen, and you can either be lovers or you can be related or you can be friends. And so those are kind of the only rules of the game. And a deck of cards sits in between you. You can sit side by side, you can sit back to back, and you can do this in any environment. And I played it at a lake, which was very immersive. And I had a very special experience doing that. It was my first time like properly role playing during a TTRPG, and I stayed in character the whole time. And the game lasted about 30 minutes. And so it was really a perfect experience for my first time. And I'm a fish freak. And you know that I'm a surreal girly. Like the game really checked a lot of boxes for me in terms of like thematics and how our story ended up unfolding. And it's also beautiful because the game has just enough structure. So like you can grab something from the tackle box whenever you want, which is when you pull a card. Then the card will kind of give you some ideas of where you could take the story. So I just love that there's not that many rules, but there's a lot of places you could go. And now I'm just like, I want to have that experience again. I want to try it with other people. I'm going to bring Tacklebox everywhere I go. So apologies in advance if you see me sometime soon in person, because I will be asking you to play. But yeah, it was just lovely. So, and it's a new TTRPG, Tacklebox. So check it out. I'll talk about it a little bit more during the June Indie Game Roundup, but this episode comes out before that. So that's my one small thing.
Yay. Amazing.
Anything else?
I think that's it. I think it's now time for you to tell us about our next game.
Our next time on No Small Games, we're going to be covering Fishbowl by I Miss My Friends Studio. Fishbowl is a slow and tender narrative game about dreams, grief, and hope. Rediscover your memories and find your way into the present in this intimate experience where slice of life meets surreal. Wow. Can't wait. We've both covered the Fishbowl demo preview. That article's on the No Small Games site, so if you want to get excited for the Fishbowl episode, check it out. And I feel like we've given Fishbowl we've talked about it a lot on the podcast, so I'm excited to actually get the full experience and like do the full deep dive on it. I'm excited.
I am too. I think, to be honest, I think I'm a little nervous. I feel like this game is going to bring up a lot of feelings and memories that maybe I'm not like expecting to have brought up. You know what I mean?
Okay, I feel you.
So I'm interested to see, but I'm like preparing myself.
Play with care, and we will make sure we read the content warning for you before we get into it during the Fishbowl episode. But happy summer. Let's have a hot indie game summer, and we'll see you next time.
Next time? We'll see you next time? We will.
We will.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.